Good morning, you all. Welcome, and welcome back to another video. You are watching Real Nursing Conversations with your nurse, Keisha. So in today's video, you guys, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of being a night shift nurse. So I believe I've mentioned it in a previous video or in another video I did that I've done night shift for a very long time. So I'm going to be doing quite a few videos on the night shift, how to deal with the night shift, how to survive on the night shift. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about just a few of the pros and cons to being a night shift nurse, okay? But before I get started, you guys, do you all know what the most common misconception is surrounding night shift? If you know what it is, pause this video before you go any further and comment down below. No cheating, okay? I'm gonna tell you, but I just want to know if you guys know. So just pause this video if you know and comment down below. I'm gonna give you a few seconds. All right, so if you said the most common misconception of night shift is that it's always calm on nights, that's it. That's the most common misconception surrounding night shift, you guys, is that everything is calm, quiet. It is a little quiet, but it's not always calm. It's not always calm. Okay. So before I go any further, you guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload a video. Make sure you thumbs up the video if you like this type of content. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything, just drop it down below. I'll be sure to check the comments and respond to questions, okay, you guys? So without further ado, let's get into this video. Now, if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my notes. I'm one of those type of people. I'm a note taker. I like to write notes to kind of keep myself on track. If I don't have my little notes to keep myself on track, I'll be all over the place rambling about everything, because there's so much to talk about when it comes to nursing, and I've been in the nursing field since 2000, you guys. So yes, so like I said, this video is going to be about the pros and cons of night shift nursing, and I'm going to start with, what should I start with? Should I start with the pros or should I start with the cons? And this is just going to be a few. I think I will start with the pros, okay? So if y'all can see my background, I did just decide to come to the park this morning just to record this video. It's a nice day here. Hopefully it don't get too loud. I do hear an airplane over us, so I'm going to give that airplane a little time to get on his way and get away from us so y'all can hear me, okay? But we are going to start with the pros of night shift nursing, okay? One of the pros of night shift nursing is it is a little quieter. You have less people around. It's not as many doctors, social workers, therapists, nurses, like management. They're not there at night, so it's a little quieter in that aspect because you have less people that's running around asking questions, needing stuff done. So while it's not totally quiet, it is a little quieter because they have less people just walking around and doing stuff, asking stuff, okay? It can be a little slower, but this kind of depends on the specialty that you're working in. I've worked nights in rehab. It's busy. I've worked nights on med surg. It's just as busy as days because we get admissions just like day shift, and most of the admissions tend to come in the evening time. So yeah, it's a little slower, but it's still busy. For me, like, it was always busy. You rarely had that night where it was just slow. It's slow, but it's busy, if that makes sense. Another pro to work at night shift is the pay is increased. So you would typically make more than you would if you were to work days, and that's usually because most people don't want to work night shift, so they're going to pay you an extra incentive for working nights, because that's typically like the shift that don't nobody want to work, Most nurses don't even care about that incentive or the shift differential. Like, they rather just do their day, stay on a normal schedule and routine, just so they can kind of stay, you know, regular. And a lot of times it depends on what you got going at home as far as your family, children, and stuff like that. But that is one of the pros to working on nights. More than likely, 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time, you're going to have an increased pay. Okay. Next, you can deliver more direct patient care, whereas on the day shift, it's kind of busy as far as, like I said, therapy, doctors rounding, and, you know, patients going to procedures and stuff like that. So a lot of times the patients are busy, they're gone, they're doing stuff. But at night, being a night nurse, you have more time to, like, you know, spend more time with your patients. You know, you can talk to your patients. You just have a little more time with them. Sometimes it's really busy where you don't get that extra time with your patients, but a lot of times, like, if you plan and prepare your shift, you know, so you kind of stay organized and stay on task, then you have more time with your patients. So that is one of the pros to working night shift. Also, for night shift, I feel like as a nurse, you can develop stronger bonds with your peers because it's a smaller group of people. There's less resources on nights, which I'll mention that when we get to the cons, but there's less resources, so you have to utilize each other. Like, we are each other's, like, backbone when it comes to stuff in nursing, you know. So that is another thing. You have more time to kind of develop a bond with your peers and your co-workers, whereas with day shift, you kind of like constantly moving because, like I said, your patients have appointments, or if you're working like in a rehab setting, they have like appointments. If you're like on a med-surg setting or a surgical floor or something like that, they may have a procedure. A lot of times these patients, when they do have procedures and stuff, they're working with therapy. They're seeing the doctors when they round in, and a lot of times some of these patients have different doctors that they see, so they see different specialties for different things, so it's kind of busy. Another one of my pros is you have less doctors rounding at night. Most of the time doctors do their rounds early in the morning. Now, you may have a few doctors sometimes that come in at night to do their rounds. It's very rare, but you do have those doctors that will come in at, you know, late to see their patients. Our GI doctor, excuse me, he used to round late at night. I mean, not late at night, but late in the evening, because he did most of his procedures early in the morning. So sometimes you will have doctors rounding at night, but it's not a lot. Next, I think I mentioned this a little bit, but there's fewer people to deal with. It's like family, it's less families, and as you know, most hospitals, most hospitals, nursing homes, rehabs, they have a visiting hours. It's usually like from 9 to 9. So after a certain hour, you know, there's no visitors, so there's no families, there's no management. If there is management, it's a few. It's like a whole lot of management. So it's less people in the building. So that's one of the pros to working nights as well. There's rarely discharges on the night shift. Typically, the night shift starts 7 p to 7 a. Just depend on the facility you're at. They may have 8-hour shifts where you do 7 to 3. There's 3 to 11 or 11 to 7. But typically, there's no discharges at night. Usually, if there are discharges, the day shift nurse pretty much have it ready, and by the time the 7 p to 7 a staff get there, that patient is just waiting to be picked up. They've pretty much already been discharged. They just waiting on the ride. So you literally just have to probably take their IV out, give them their paperwork. In my experience, the nurses usually always have gave them their paperwork. Only thing they may leave is their IV to be taken out once their ride gets there, just in case something happens, some type of emergency situation, and you end up having to give them meds. They'll leave their IV in just, you know, for that. And like I said, they typically like go ahead and give them their paperwork, but they don't completely take them out the system until their ride is there. So 9 times out of 10 on nights, you really don't have to like do discharges. And I feel like there's more teamwork on the night shift. So that is my pros, some of my pros for being a night shift nurse. Okay, you guys, there's many more, but that is some of the things, you know, that's a pro to being a night shift nurse. Now the cons, and my list for the cons is not as long, but there are some cons to being a night shift nurse. It's not the easiest shift. So at night there is fewer resources. Okay, there's less doctors. You may have one doctor that's covering the whole hospital on a night shift. Sometimes it may be like one doctor and a nurse practitioner. They work together as a team. Typically you would, or the hospital I was at, you would, it just depends too, like on your location, the area that you in. Now the ER doctors, they are doctors in the ER. They are doctors like in labor and delivery and stuff like that. But as far as like your med-surg patients, you dealing with this one doctor and this one nurse practitioner. So it's different for each hospital, but there are fewer resources. So there's most hospitals, some hospitals now, the cafeterias are open at night. They do open up at night for the night staff, and I think that is great. But some hospitals, they don't, their cafeteria don't open up for nurses at night. So you have to prepare, or you'll be without lunch for the night, because a lot of stuff is not open at night. I know sometimes people come in, as soon as they get to work, they'll do like a DoorDash or Uber Eats, and try to get them some food before those type of places, you know, stop delivering. But at the hospitals, nursing homes, rehabs, there's fewer resources, so no cafeteria. Sometimes some of these places, they don't have housekeeping at night, so you are like everything. If something happened, like it's on you, the nurse. So it's not as much support there as they have on day shift, where if something go down on day shift, housekeeping there, cafeteria there. If somebody patient don't get a tray or they need something, all they got to do is call dietary. Night shift, you typically can't do that. And I've worked places where they would leave like extra trays, you know, for the patients at night, but it's rare. So there's less resources, less operations. As far as like, sometimes you may come in and you may be locked out of the EMR system, where you might have to call IT. Usually there's like a number you can call, but I have worked at places where there's no number you can call. Like, you call and leave an IT a message and you gotta wait till they call you back. So there are fewer resources at night. At night you do have increased patient load. So whereas, let's say, working on a typical med-surg floor, you may have 5 patients, you may can get up to 5 patients on the day shift. At night you may can get up to 6 or 7. So it just depends, but you do have a higher patient load. Even at a nursing home, I worked in nursing homes for many years in the beginning of my career, and your patient load is heavier on the night shift. And some of y'all might think like, well, the people be asleep, you know, the patients are asleep. No, they don't be asleep. They don't all be asleep. They don't always be asleep. Okay, so you have an increased patient load, which can kind of be tough. One of the hardest things is you are up while everybody is sleeping. Once you've done night shift for a while, you typically kind of get used to it, but it takes a long time to adjust, because our bodies know we supposed to be asleep at night. We are not supposed to be woke, working, doing nothing for nobody. We're supposed to be in our bed, tucked under our covers, sleep at night. So that's one of the hardest things. Again, nights is hard to adjust. It takes a very long time to adjust to night shift. And even after working many years of night shift, your body really still don't get adjusted. For me, I've done night shift for a long time, so I'm kind of used to it. I'll say I'm used to it, because even on my days when I'm off, I'm still up at night, because my body's so used to being up. Like, I'll stay up all night, and then about 4 or 5 in the morning, I'll get sleepy. And a lot of times, this is another con to night shift. A lot of times, I know day shift is busy and there's a lot of stuff going on. Sometimes day shift nurses don't get to some things because their patients is gone. They off the floor, they gone to procedures, and they doing stuff. But I just feel like, and this is not a battle of the day shift or the night shift, but being a night shift nurse for many years, I feel like the less desirable task or extra things that needs to be done is always left for the night shift. I don't know why I feel like that, but I do feel like that. Nursing is 24/7, but I just feel like a lot of times, just depends, like I said, on where you work and the relationship you have with the people that you work with. I just feel like a lot of times some of those less desirable tasks are left for night shift. Okay. That is all I have on my con list. Like I said, there's many things. Many things like night shift. I could just elaborate on a few more. Like, you miss out on a lot of like family functions and things like that, which is not good because you only live once. So you need to be trying to spend as much time with your family as possible. But work at night shift, you know, you kind of sleep during the day, you work at night. Like, if there's something going on, you kind of like missing out on those family activities, family functions, different holidays, because your schedule is way off from everybody else's. So that's one of the things. We could double back to another pro. Another pro to night shift is typically, I found that I'm always going against traffic, so I don't have to too much deal with traffic when I'm going to work or when I'm coming home, because I'm always going in the opposite direction of the flow of traffic. So that is one good thing. But again, that just depends on where you at in your location, you guys. If y'all have any pros and cons, if you are a night shift nurse, or if you work night shift in the past, and you don't necessarily have to be a nurse, just the person that works night shift, you know, HST, a PCA, a CNA. If you somebody that's worked on a night shift and you have some pros and cons that you would like to contribute to this, drop those down below. I would love to hear them. Like I said, there's many more. I just wanted to talk about a few of them. I don't want this video to be too long, but I do want you all to, you know, participate and, you know, let me know some of your pros and cons that you've experienced being a night shift worker. That is it for this video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload a video. Make sure y'all thumbs up the video if you like this type of content. Make sure y'all leave me some comments down below. And without further ado, you guys, that is it. Bye.